Today must be the day of disappointments. Good evening and salutations, my Jade fans. First, it was Young and Restless. That is GH. Now, I've said this ad nauseum, so this should really come to a surprise for no one. I'm not a fan of Nurses Balls. I've never have been. I just find them to be a complete and utter waste of time. I understand why people like them, and I respect that. But for me personally, yeah. This episode, I had so many issues with this episode, but the biggest one, the absolute one that is just completely unforgivable, is that it is an hour of a waste of time from start to finish. Here's the thing, I feel so bad for this actress. I think her name was Sydney or something like that. She gave off like the worst, cringiest dialogue that I got to a point I just had to fast forward past these interviews. I'm not even going to sit there and mock her because I don't want to sit there and relive it. But every time she interviewed someone, it just was extremely painful to sit there and listen to. Just extremely painful. I actually questioned, and I'm still questioning, should I review the rest of these episodes? Because if the rest of the episodes were as bad as today's episodes, you'll see me in a live stream tonight. But as far as these episodes is concerned, there's a good chance you may have to sit there and hit up my guy Brock TV because I don't have the patience for whatever the hell it is that I just had to sit through. But there's one bit of a consolation prize towards that. If there's a silver lining to it, is I can sit there and tell you firsthand, do not bother to watch this episode unless you just want to have sound and music or whatever in the background. There's just no point. That is literally all I can sit there and say about that. Link continues to be a creep. Chase gives Brooke a compliment, but then retracts it when he sees Lynx and realizes that Brooklyn is pretty much solid. Literally, that's the extent of their theme. Um, and of course, Link continues to act like a creep, and Brooke continues to be bothered by it. But well, her makeup looks nice. Joss. And I actually wrote this down because I knew I was just going to be in somewhat of a foul mood. So I was like, let me just write this down. We all know how I feel about Joss. I will sit there and say this. Shit was on point from head to toe. Same thing with Trina. Bad. Okay? If if I had to sit there and give any compliments or any positive to this episode, is that they were both fired. So props to them. That's real all I got. Trina at this point, I think she knows that Dex is the person that Josh is seeing. Because she makes a comment about, oh, you want to sit there and be with that guy, that bodyguard or whatever. And they talk about Spencer. And Spencer was there, and Lucy. Let's just put it this way. If it was Valentine, if it was Victor, and he looked at Trina the way that Lucy looked at Spencer, I'm pretty sure that people will be sitting there calling him all sorts of creepy names. So I would just leave it at that. Lucy does what honestly, tell you the truth, the thing is, this episode was so bad that it's almost as though Lucy being annoying like usual didn't phase me. Because the episode was so much more worse that it was just like, you know what, at this point, I can't even be phased by her. All she did was whine and complain the entire time, and just. And Bobby was there, and Carly was there. See, this is exactly this is exactly why I kind of didn't want to sit there and do this review, because nothing mattered. Nothing mattered. Yeah, Austin was there, and they announced that Sasha and Cody was there off screen, because they'll probably get them tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be a nice little tribute to Epiphany and Sonya Eddy, so that's cool. I think that's probably going to be the only highlight for me actually watching it, because everything else I just yeah. Um. Oh, and Victor pretty much found the safe house. When Lucy decided to take a car to go down there to see Maxie. So now they got the car, or where they rent the car at or whatever. So now they pretty much got the location. So um maybe tomorrow may be somewhat interesting. I don't know, but you know I'll just have to sit there and wait and see, and maybe cross my fingers or something. What else happened in this episode? Oh, I said Ava and Austin was there. Bobby was there. Josh, Carly, Michael, and Willow added nothing to the episode like usual. So that was pretty much on brand. This episode was absolutely terrible. Let me just pause it for a second. Oh, and Sam and Dante was there to, add nothing to the episodes like usual. Uh, I said Nina was there and Dex was there because Josh gotta have somebody to sit there and look at. Um, I think that's pretty much about it. Like literally, there was no story. Everything was like one big intro after the other, and it went nowhere. And it's here's the thing. What's even really more of an insult is that even that people that was sitting there looking for like the nurses ball stuff, it didn't even happen yet. They didn't even do one performance. I can't even sit there and say, well, you know what? You can sit there and watch it for this performance. You can watch it for that performance. You can watch it because that didn't even happen. So this was literally like the definition of just one giant waste of time. I don't really know what else to say. Also, I'll talk about YNR in a live stream. I got my own issues with that, but well, let's see. 4 and 2 so far was just giant disappointment. So, yay! I got nothing else to add. I really don't. But you know what? Listen, we can sit there and talk about it tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I will only be on for an hour because tomorrow I like to call Tuesdays, well, Hell Day. But I will be sitting there talking about it. So we can talk about all the soap opera stuff that I didn't cover that I will be watching today. Talk about it later on tonight. But yeah, I'm only going to be on for like an hour. But I still want to sit there and talk about whatever this was or what it was supposed to be. Anyway, thank you for watching. Stay safe. I really got nothing else to say except for just don't bother to watch this episode.